90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Movies Till Midnight. Woo! We are super excited to be here. I am joined in the studio with my wonderful co-host, Bryce Maynard, Danny Krastek, and Ella Duffy. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
How is everybody doing on this fine evening?
It's late. I have to get up in 6 hours. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're college students. We're pulling a little night shift here.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the studio, WMSC. This is our first show for Movies Till Midnight. I feel like we've been doing this for a long time for some reason because we had a couple meetings so far. We were discussing a little bit about what this show is going to be and what we want this show to be and where we want to take this. So I kind of want to start off first. I want to start off first by saying I want to ask you guys why, what's your background in film and why you guys want to join this show? So, Bryce, would you like to take it away first?
Well, part of the reason why I wanted to join the show is because I found out that you were doing it. Like, this was your idea, this was your project, and I'm like, I mean, you. If we're gonna discuss film, I'm there. Like, yeah. you had me at the very beginning. So
word, yeah, Danny.
Well, you see, the reason I'm in the show is because you asked me to be.
I did ask you to be here. That's right.
Yeah, I was specifically
Thank you
asked.
for saying yes.
Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, no, I really like talking about movies. It's fun. It's something I enjoy doing. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, happy to be doing it, and happy to have an outlet to be doing it.
Ella?
Is my mic working?
It's on.
It is, yeah,
You're good. We got you.
I
we hear you
joined,
loud and clear.
because you asked me to, and we always talk about movies, so
Yeah.
I thought this would be fun.
What's your guys like? Kind of interest in film in general? Like, where is this? This might be a loaded question, but like, where do you guys see yourself like going with film? You know what I mean? Like in the future. Like, I know we're all TV and film major students, so like, yeah, Bryce.
Me personally, I'm always kind of like hands-on type of person, so I just want to be kind of a cameraman, mainly just a cinematographer. That's kind of just like the end goal, the dream goal for me.
I am the exact opposite. I'm better with the more behind the scenes, like the creative side of things. That's always been what I'm better at. So something with that writer director kind of thing maybe, but also I really really enjoy just talking about other people's stuff. So I don't know, maybe career in film criticism or something, maybe, who knows, something in the field.
Yeah. Ella?
I also enjoy like behind the scenes. I've been editing like videos ever since I was a kid, so I'm more into like film editing and just doing everything on my laptop.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, awesome. I mean, me personally, like, I really want to be a director. That's where I want to go with this. You know what I mean? I wanna make movies to some capacity. I love every aspect of it, but I think like directing would be really cool. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, first off, if you're listening, thank you for tuning in to Movies Till Midnight. We're super excited to be here. We have a little bit of a learning curve here. Mm-hmm. Right, because we've been here for about 30 minutes.
A little bit is an understatement.
A little bit is an understatement. Danny, you've been here for like an hour.
Yeah.
Before the show even started.
That doesn't mean I really did anything, but yeah, I was here for an hour.
He was here. He got here. He was super excited to be here. But we were here for 30 minutes trying to set up a lot of our show and everything, talking. We were a little bit in panic mode.
We were.
But we pulled it together. We have something of a show going on right now. It's working. We can hear ourselves, and
we're gonna
so that's
assume
good.
That it's going
I have no idea how I want to really even transition into the next thing, because
segues are hard.
Segues are difficult right now for me, but we're here. We're on. I'm gonna actually bring it to a quick break, right? And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna see what else there is to talk about. I think. Ooh. So that's where we're at. Yeah. 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. We're back here on Movies Till Midnight. That was our first break.
We've made it through 5 minutes, 6 minutes now of on-air time. This is weird, but it's going surprisingly well.
We did it. Great job, guys.
Success.
We're gonna for the next part of the show. Once again, no idea. Segues are hard. Danny said this earlier. I don't know what I'm going to say right now, but we're going to move into a little segment of movie news. So, Danny, why don't you take it away with some movie news?
So the way that streaming services work, right? Basically all streaming services, at the start of every month, new stuff gets added, old stuff gets taken down. That's just the way it works, and it seems to be just how things are. So because we were at the start of November, a lot of new stuff got added. Starting with Netflix, a lot of new stuff got added, including the remake of the 1930 classic All Quiet on the Western Front, which was really good. Henry Selick, the director of Nightmare Before Christmas, made his first movie since 2009 with Wendell and Wild. A new movie called The Good Nurse, starring Eddie Redmayne and Jessica Chastain, came out, which actually was at the Montclair Film Festival a few weeks ago. There were also 2 sequels to movies that are currently on Netflix, Blade of the 47 Ronin and Enola Holmes 2, starring the, why am I blanking on her name? Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. On Amazon Prime, some other new stuff got added, including the second Harry Styles movie of the year. I can't believe I'm saying that. With My Policeman, which is getting very good reviews, which I have not seen yet. Some other movies that have been getting some award buzz called Run Sweetheart Run and Catherine Called Birdie, as well as Robert Eggers' third movie, The Northman, now being available to rent on the platform. Over on HBO Max, See How They Run, which is Wes Anderson's type version of Knives Out, is available on there, as well as the horror movie Barbarian, all of the original Star Trek movies, and of course the obligatory Christmas avalanche that is just going to be downpouring on every single streaming service. And finally, over on Disney Plus, we have more episodes of The Andor show, as well as a new Star Wars show called Tales of the Jedi, which I've heard is really good, but I have not seen.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that I've heard is in the style of the Clone Wars show, Rebels, that kind of thing. I have not watched it, but I've heard that it's very good.
Yeah.
So that is the end of what's new on streaming. Segues are hard.
Segues are hard. Ella, what's
shall I continue?
what's coming out in November?
So in November, there's a couple movies, but I have dwindled it down to like movies that I would probably go see. So coming out November 4th, which probably already came out now, is the new movie Armageddon Time with Robert De Niro, Cate Blanchett, Oscar Isaac, Anthony Hopkins. It has like a big giant cast.
All-star cast right
That's
there.
a great
Yeah.
cast. Wow.
But okay, I'm not. Gonna, well, I didn't want to get into discussion, but I'll
Should
yeah,
I
I'm gonna-
should
I'm
I
gonna-
like
I'm gonna
explain
shut
the
up.
movies? Like I don't know.
If you want.
If you feel like
Yeah.
this is our first time
This is
doing this,
definitely-
audience, so bear with us as we find our footing.
Yeah.
This
Not-
is
none of
definitely
us
an
have done this.
Oscar buzzed movie. It's just about strength of family. Obviously, it looks like a sad one. November 11th, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Ooh.
The original director is coming back for this one, Ryan Coogler. So
I think that's
a
right.
good one. I think
Sounds right.
Ironheart might be teased in that one. The Fablemans is coming out November 11th as well. Steven Spielberg's loosely based, like what is it called?
It's
Based
loosely
on his
based on
life?
his childhood, I think, is from what
Yeah.
I've heard about it.
It's got Paul Dano, Seth Rogen. Bones and All comes out November 18th. That is Luca Guadagnino, who directed Call Me By Your Name. It has Timothy Chalamet and Taylor Russell from Waves, which I love that movie. So
Really good.
it's a coming-of-age story about 2 teenagers who are cannibals.
Oh
which is
wait,
something
yes,
different.
That's
I
not
actually
what I thought the movie was about.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
this-
what it's about.
I just saw the trailer for this. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No,
again,
you
but
go ahead.
I'm excited about movies and I love this. And yeah, keep going.
That's a good one. I'm excited for that
Yeah,
one.
same.
Definitely a star out role for Taylor Russell. She's good. I just wanted to point out that Disenchanted comes out November 18th. The second movie to Enchanted, which looks really cute.
Wait, that movie was made so long ago.
I know.
They made Hocus Pocus too, and that movie's like
Yeah,
30 years
that's
old.
true.
This is Disney we're talking about. Sorry, Disney overlords. You give us so much content that we can talk about.
Yeah.
They want everyone to run up on Disney Plus. So
Yeah.
The Menu comes out November 18th as well. That one has Anya Taylor-Joy, Ralph Fiennes, I think,
Ralph
who plays
Fiennes, yeah.
Yes, he plays Voldemort, and Nicholas Hoult, who was in all the X-Men. It's like a Gordon Ramsay style lavish dining experience, which is like it just turns crazy. I don't know really what it's about, but that's what the trailer told me. Disney's Strange World, which does not have a lot of buzz for some reason, but it's coming out
Oh, I
November
didn't even hear
22nd.
about that.
It has Jake Gyllenhaal and Lucy Liu.
I wouldn't count that out though, just because there's no buzz. Because you know what else didn't have a lot of buzz leading up to it? Encanto. You know what got all the awards?
Encanto.
You know what movie
Yeah.
dominated TikTok?
Encanto.
So
Say it with the
looks
eyes.
cute.
Encanto.
Encanto.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's cute. It's
Awesome.
about a family getting sent to some kind of dangerous world. I don't know.
A strange world, one might say.
A strange
strange-
world. Oh, you're so
I see what you
funny.
did there, Danny.
Should I go in
Thank you,
December?
Thank you.
Do we have
let's
time?
let's save it. Let's
Okay.
save it.
If we have time at the end, we'll come back to
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Or-
let's-
Or we can
let's-
save it for another show.
Yeah,
Just 'cause
let's
this
move
is
on to
not our-
Bryce. I know Bryce has some interesting stuff to talk about as well here.
Yes, so Denzel Washington, we know him best from, Remember the Titans, Fences, Training Day, all that other stuff like that. And he was recently in the process of shooting his new movie, The Equalizer 3.
Yeah.
However, production got shut down because Italian police, because they're filming in Italy, Italian police found, get this, 100 grams of cocaine
What?
in the catering department.
Wait, what?
In catering department. So the Italian police had to inspect everybody's hotel rooms, the entire cruise production for hotel rooms, because the reason why this happened is because the head of catering for that film passed away on that Monday from a heart attack. So they used the death as a way. I don't know who these people are, but they use it as a way to
Jeez.
get their stuff into the production.
This is fascinating.
Wow.
What the?
I couldn't. I had to read it a few times. I'm like, there's no way this is real. And then I looked at multiple
Wow.
sources, and I'm like, this is a real story.
Are they making
That's
the
something.
movie anymore?
It's temporarily shut down for now until they get it all sorted. But then it's gonna resume eventually.
That's crazy.
That's fascinating.
What?
Wow.
This is because I saw it on our little. We have a little outline for our show, and I was I read a little bit of I read the first 2 bullet points, and I was like, what? I was
Yeah.
I was so excited.
See,
for
I
you
only
to
got
tell
to
us.
the
I was like,
first bullet point and saw Denzel Washington is currently in the process of making the movie, and my first thought was Denzel Washington still making movies?
wow. Yeah, right.
Because
I thought he just shows up to the award shows and
He's
makes an appearance there. I was like, wow. So yeah, that's some of the movie news. I wanted to do this little thing, and I hope. I mean, well, the audience doesn't really have a choice, but I hope everybody's okay with this. I hope everybody's okay with this. I wanted to do a little movie review we could kind of cycle through it. So maybe if next weekend, if Bryce wants to give a little movie review. So I watched a movie literally today, and I wrote this movie today, movie review today. I finally got to see the movie See How They Run. So I was super excited when I first saw that this movie came out on HBO Max, and I was like, oh, I wonder what this is going to be about, because believe it or not, because this is kind of interesting, because at first it flew under the radar, and then I saw that it came out on HBO Max, and I was like, oh, See How They Run. This is interesting because I was in a play in high school called See How They Run. There's this 1950s play called See How They Run, and I was in that play at my high school my freshman year, so I was super excited to see this. After watching the movie,
were the movie and the play linked at all?
I was about to say that they're nothing alike, totally different. So I was a little bit disappointed from that end, but that's a personal thing, because this movie was actually really, really entertaining. It was actually really good. So the film was actually released back in September 16th. A lot of people didn't even hear about this. It really flew under the
did
radar.
kind of,
Yeah,
which is
no.
weird.
But it
'cause
was
it's-
really good.
Yeah,
Did you see it?
I did. Yeah, I saw it back in September. I need to rewatch it again because it's available now again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that it flew under the radar, because it's at least in my opinion, it's like if Wes Anderson, who is a very popular and well-respected
That's right.
director that people, I mean, yeah, his movies don't do unless you're Grand Budapest, you're not going to make tons of money at the box
right,
office,
'cause
but people have heard of it and people will
It's a
see
niche
it.
thing. It's a neat,
And
it's a niche audience.
it's as if he directed Knives Out, which is also a movie that everybody loved back when that came out.
Right. So I thought it was the
yeah.
perfect combination, but maybe just because
It's weird.
I don't know why.
It
I
probably
thought it was
came
really
out at the
good.
wrong time.
I
I feel
think
like
maybe it
September
did.
was a big hit movie scene.
Yeah.
What came out in September?
But I
I'm
wrote
gonna
this
find-
review. I mean, we pretty much covered everything. I just drew it out in a lot of words. So maybe I'll read some of this, and we'll see if I'm just being redundant or not.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
I was very happy with this movie. I think it certainly holds up against quite possibly the greatest revision of the murder mystery genre, which was Knives Out.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I have yet to see Glass Onion, and Knives Out Story, which came out very recently. That's
I did
Rain
get
Johnson's
to see
follow-up
it.
to the 2019 Whodunit. I want to talk to you about that later or on another episode. I'm going to watch it soon. Regardless, this film was very entertaining. It didn't really have me guessing, or like I wasn't really on the edge of my seat like a normal murder mystery would, because I think I was more drawn to the stylistic tendencies of it. Like, and as Danny said, very Wes Anderson-esque. You know what I mean? It had this sort of rhythmic, methodical pacing to it. The line delivery and camera techniques were very reminiscent of Wes Anderson. And I love this thing. They did this thing where like the parallel editing, and they did like parallel editing, but they showed reaction shots like simultaneously, and it was so cool because I've never seen that before. I feel like
that.
It was really cool. Like, oh my gosh, yeah. Like I think that was really fascinating for sure. I feel like I'm getting so repetitive with this thing because I wrote all this out and then I feel like I just said it all in like 3 words. The dialogue was very witty, and I included in my letterbox review of this movie. I said the most used words in this film are constable and inspector.
That is
and
probably
if
accurate.
you see the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And you'll be like, oh, that's really funny actually. But basically, overall, I loved. There was a Shining reference in it. The Shining reference. There was something like that in it somewhere. I think it was like the bar scene. If you guys remember the Shining, that you know that there was like
a Shining.
do you know
reference
that
in
bar
the
scene
movie.
where
Yeah.
he goes and he's talking to the
That's my
the
favorite.
ghost or whatever? That's such a cool scene, and they actually did some kind of callback to that in this
Yeah.
movie, which
I
was
forgot
so
about that.
crazy. I don't mean to spoil it, but it's been out for a while. I'm sorry. 2-week spoiler thing. But anyway, I think we're gonna go to our next break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna actually talk about the big boy topic for today's show. So if I can here, I'm gonna click on my Spotify. I'm gonna look for a song right now, and I'm gonna stall and talk and try to play a song.
Yeah, so
Um,
while you're looking,
yeah.
I just looked up. Apparently, with Bet keep talking about See How They Run. Apparently, that's the director's first feature-length movie.
What?
Yeah, apparently
It was
that's
really good.
Yeah, apparently
And it
the
was a
only
great
the only
cast.
2 other things that he has listed on Letterboxd is like a 40-something minute documentary and a 9-minute short film.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the fact
Impressive.
that it's that level of like
and the
professionalism
cinematography
and,
and like everything
yeah,
looked
just
beautiful.
the for the fact for like a
wow.
first movie, like even Wes Anderson's first movie,
Didn't look
his
anything
Bottle
like that.
Rocket does not
Nothing.
look anything
Yeah.
like any other Wes Anderson movie.
Right. I just wanted to say something. I was brought up by Danny during the break. I made a grave error in speaking on behalf of Glass Onion, a Knives Out story. I said, "Oh boy, I can't wait to watch this very soon, or I'm going to see this in the near future." Which I guess technically I will. So, but they're saying
Technically,
it's
the near
fake
future.
news because I can't currently watch it like tomorrow because it doesn't come out till December 3rd.
December 23rd.
December 23rd. Oh my god. I misspoke again.
Unless you're lucky enough to like be in one of the limited theaters it's going to in like November 20-somethingth, but I don't know where those
Right.
theaters are. So
Right. So
and it'll probably be expensive. So I have no idea.
So I made a mistake. That's my bad. December 23rd is when Glass Onion, a Knives Out story comes out. The reason that Danny got to see it first was because he went to the Montclair Film Festival
I did.
that
It's
I was
true.
not able to get tickets for because everything was sold out by the time I heard about it.
I got
unfortunately.
a membership.
He got a membership.
pre-release
Yeah.
tickets.
I'm working on the membership, guys. Don't you
Yeah.
worry about that.
No,
But
yeah, it's a fun movie. It's very fun. I can't really talk about
the
it without
trailer
giving,
looks so good.
without giving. It's
Oh,
really
I'm
kind
so
of impossible
excited.
to talk about without giving things away. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna say.
So we're gonna have
Yeah.
to put this on hold until we come back.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whenever that movie comes out. We're gonna talk about the main topic of what we want. Danny, help me out here.
So to put the words in your mouth, I suppose we're gonna talk about provided we have time, we're gonna talk about our top 10 favorite and least favorite movies. But I'm guessing we're probably only gonna have time to talk about our top 10 favorites, which will mean that next week we'll already have our show in mind.
Yeah, there you
It'll
go.
be easier.
There you go.
Yay.
Yeah, so we're gonna bring up our top 10 favorite films of all time, according to us. So does anybody want to go first? And I don't even, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you're gonna have to bear with us because we have no idea how we are going to kind of go about this. But maybe do we want to just?
I would say go
the
around.
go around the
Yeah.
circle with the first one.
Well, I think you, as the
Yeah.
host,
Yeah.
should
I'll
take
kick
the
it
lead
off.
on this one. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
So I'm sure you guys noticed when I walked in today I was wearing
Oh yeah.
a Pulp Fiction T-shirt.
Great movie.
This features John Travolta and Michelle Pfeiffer. They're doing the little dancing jig that they do during the diner scene. A lot of fun. So yeah, that's how I'm kicking it off. Pulp Fiction,
Why? Is it your favorite
1994, Quentin Tarantino. This is my favorite movie of all time. That's number 1 on the list too. This is not. I'm in order, folks.
movie? I'm gonna.
I
Yeah.
am in order, top to bottom. Pulp Fiction is number 1. Allow me to explain myself,
Please,
because
please
I'm
do,
sure
please do.
I'm sure many people are wondering. Listen, first of all, Quentin Tarantino is the greatest director of all time. Stylistically, he's one of the greatest
He's up there,
auteurs. He's the
definitely.
best. I think he's the best, one of the best auteurs of all time. This movie in particular, I think, is one of the most stylistically enhanced films. I think it speaks so much to who he is as an individual. He was able to put so much of himself into the movie. The dialogue is probably the greatest thing about the film. But listen, what really stood out to me was because when I first watched this movie, when I first saw this was the first movie that I ever seen that was shot or that was shown in completely non-linear fashion, which I was like absolutely stunned about. Like, I mean, I've never seen anything like this. And then by the end, you get all the puzzle pieces kind of come together, and you're like, wow, what? This is crazy. And the reason that I put it at number 1 is for those reasons, but also because it is nostalgic for me, because this was the first movie that I had a connection with in terms of like film comprehension, or like a film analysis, or like a film studies perspective. When I looked at this film, and it was probably one of the earliest like pieces of cinema. You know what I mean? Like a really, like, it wasn't just a childhood, Disney movie. It wasn't just something like an action movie. This was something more, and I recognize that, and that's why it's number 1 for me. So yeah, does anybody want to go next?
I agree with you. Well, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my number 1 favorite
Whoa,
movie, which is
Quentin
also
Tarantino taking
a
over.
Tarantino movie. I'm just saying, like, I see hate for this movie, but like what I like in a movie is Brad Pitt, 1970s, Hollywood, anything that has to do with filmmaking, and definitely the Charles Manson stories. Those are definitely my favorite types of movies. So this hits every single mark.
Might we have a conversation about this?
Yeah,
No,
Wait a minute.
I think that's a topic
I
we're supposed
love
to
this
Controversial.
movie.
I just realized something. Do you remember what we talked about in our film class a few days ago when we watched that movie? What's that thing called? What's that theme called? Where you show like a film within a film?
Theatrical reflexivity.
That's what they do. And Once Upon a
That's
Time
what they do in
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
They show
They
you
did.
film.
They did it in
I
See How They
love
Run.
it.
They did it in See How
did
They
do it
Run,
in
which
See
I
How They
noticed.
Run.
I didn't.
Please,
True.
please
I wrote it
tell
down,
me,
but I didn't say it because I thought it was too nerdy.
Like, please tell me
This
you
is the
watch
nerd
Once
show.
Upon a Time in Hollywood and
Yeah.
you see like the whole scene, and then Leonardo DiCaprio goes into his van and freaks out. Like, tell me that's not like the best thing you've ever seen.
That is a really
Like,
good
I
scene.
will say-
It is good.
If you had any inkling to do not read. Well, I don't know.
You
if
think
I
that's
can
the best
I can
Tarantino movie?
strongly,
I'm sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
can strongly suggest, in my personal opinion, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood book that he wrote, the novelization, is borderline unreadable.
I didn't even touch it.
I didn't
He
even
wrote a
see
book
it.
for
because
it?
I
Yeah,
didn't
like
like
the
he basically he basically said the movie is the unfinished version. Let me write a book that
I just
elaborates
want to
on
say,
it.
this is not my favorite
yeah,
Tarantino
it's-
movie, but this is one
it's
of his best.
Horrible.
Oh,
As
he
in,
said it, not
as
me.
in,
But I agree.
as in, he goes on tangents about like his own opinions on movies. Like
No.
this,
Right.
like for example, there's one part where he's like, "What's Leonardo?" It's like Rick Dalton.
Rick
is that his
Dalton,
name?
that's
Yeah,
the
he's like
thing, yeah.
Rick Dalton was offered a chance to work with this director, but he thought his work was a little too like blah blah blah. This movie that he made in 19 whatever, he goes on like
Yeah,
a whole
no,
like
Like, so
2-page
it's-
essay
no.
about the director.
So it's just like
he
over.
can't be a book writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other
I feel like he
problem
has too much in his
is
mind.
is not giving away spoilers, but like we've all seen the movie, right?
Yeah.
The ending is really good.
The ending's
Right?
amazing.
The ending is really good with the
Perfect.
pool and everything. It's a great ending.
But that's the problem, because the ending for me, like the last 20 minutes are the best of that movie to me.
That's true.
No, yeah,
I would say that
that's-
is the best scene.
It's
in
the
movie.
most
Right.
action packed.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Because really,
it's
nothing,
the most Tarantino.
Because realistically, nothing really happens for a very
Yeah.
good
Stuff
majority
really
of that
happened. I
film.
mean, Brad
That's what I'm
Pitt took his
saying.
shirt off.
I mean,
Yeah.
all right.
if
No,
she, if she wants to focus on that,
No, my point in bringing up the ending was that in the book, Mr. Tarantino, the beloved and fantastic director and screenwriter though he is,
If you're listening, Tarantino.
yeah, decided, hey, we know the ending's the best part, but what if we took out the ending entirely and instead put it as an afterthought in the middle of the book as a mention? Like,
yeah.
like, by the way, one time Rick Dalton did this, but that's a story for another time anyway, and then just is never
Right.
mentioned again.
Well, listen.
No more hating on Tarantino, just in case he wants to come on
No,
the
it's
show.
a great movie. Yeah, I know. No, I love you, Quentin. Love you, Quentin.
Yeah, Quentin.
Almost as much as you love feet.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Yeah,
Danny, what
Danny.
about you?
Let's get off the Once Upon a Time highway. Dude,
All right, I'm done,
sorry,
I'm done,
but
I'm
I sat down. I had my bowl of popcorn, and I was so excited for the. No, I'm not. Keep going.
It's a great movie. I like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a lot.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
It was
I'm
fun.
I'm not
writing
trying
my
to dunk
essay
on
on
the
that
movie.
one.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. Great director. Yeah.
But I've seen
Great
every
actors.
other Tarantino
Me
movie, so
too.
it's not. That's why it's not my
the
favorite. Yeah.
best. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites.
He
Okay.
he has the best like average of like. There's only one movie he's made that I would say is not good, and that's more than I can say that for literally any other director.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
average of like good to bad, it's like 9-1.
I have to talk about that later if we make it to the if we make it
Keep
to the
going.
least favorite film. I have something to say for that.
Oh, no.
But please
Oh no.
continue.
No, I'm done. I don't have anything else to say about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No,
you
not.
got
Oh,
you got
okay.
yeah, you got your,
All right.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, to
That's
pivot
okay.
away from Quentin Tarantino and R-rated violent movies, my number one favorite movie is a Pixar movie. The transitions are hard. Yeah. So WALL-E has always been my favorite movie since I was like 4 years old, which is when it came out. I saw it in theaters. I'm like 99% sure. I have some very strong memories of watching it. And honestly, it's not a movie like there's other movies on this list that I've seen more frequently just because it's like I'm more not in the mood to watch them, but it's like there's more to pick up on repeated watches. But like it's a nice comfort movie. It's a movie that in my opinion there's really not anything wrong with it. There's really nothing I would change to make it a better movie. It's
Space Odyssey references.
Space Odyssey references. Yeah, I know.
can't go wrong.
Yeah, the first time I rewatched it after watching Space Odyssey for the first time, I was like, "Oh my god, that's the thing!"
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's they did the thing. Yeah, it's a great movie. It's it's one that I've always loved since I was a kid, and yeah, I don't really have like some deep seated reason for it. It's just a really good movie that I enjoy to watch all
Wonderful.
the time. Yeah.
Okay, I like Wally. I
Yeah.
think it's good. I don't know if it's. I,
I
don't know if
really,
it's
I
number
really
one.
like Wally.
I like
enjoyed
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't
that's
seen
so
it in a
cute.
while, honestly, because
Yeah.
I've seen it a lot of like many times in my life, but I haven't seen it in like recently. So I think I have to rewatch
Yeah.
that to make a solid opinion before I say anything.
Fair enough.
Just, not accurate. Bryce.
Okay, so I just want to say one thing. My favorite, I put for my favorite movie, The Wolf of Wall Street. However,
Okay.
that is not what I wanted to talk about.
Good
That's not what I
cinema.
wanted to talk about. So,
Wait. So you're saying that is your number one?
that's my number one. But there's another movie on here that I
That's
can like
also your
that I
number
can
one.
that I've watched more frequently, and I could bet. But this is a movie that a lot of people do not like, but I have a reason for why I like it. So I'm defending
okay.
it.
That's okay. Yeah.
So this movie is called The Girl Next Door. Now, I don't know if any of you heard of this, but if you watch this movie with like critically, you don't you will not.
what is this?
Everyone going on their
You
letterbox
will
right now.
not like it.
Yeah,
Like, if
if
you
you-
look at the reviews, you will not like this movie.
I'm doing some research.
However,
2.9 on
if
Letterboxd.
if you sit back, if you
You scandalous, Bryce.
no, listen. If you
You're allowed to watch
if
this.
you if you sit back and just try to enjoy it and just try to watch it, you will enjoy it. But if you just
Interesting.
if you just try to nitpick every little thing,
Right.
you will not enjoy this movie.
Okay.
But if you just
But if you sit back, relax.
if you sit
It's like a
back,
nostalgia
relax,
I
like
get it.
you
I get it.
you will
That's
not
fair.
like say, oh, this is a 5-star, but you'll be like, oh, that was like
But it's entertain-
that was
I
a
was
good movie.
entertained.
That was an entertained.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, this is not a movie you're gonna be like, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I got you. That's
I
that's
like that.
that's good. That's fair. That's very very good.
Yeah,
Moving on.
For you listeners, you couldn't tell, but as soon as he said the name of the movie, everyone else just grabbed.
We just went to our laptop.
Everyone grabbed their
Immediately
laptop
let
phone.
her
I don't know if you
Look
could
up
hear
what
the
movie
keys
was.
banging, but I went into research mode and I had to learn.
No
what-
one could hear the movie.
I went after seeing the poster in the little corner of Google. I went immediately into images and I was like, okay. So maybe if you guys want to do your own research at home,
So
you can see.
if you're gonna remember one thing about this movie, just
Okay.
remember, not great,
Not great,
but good enough.
but good enough.
You know, you'll like it.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Bryce, for that. That's number one. Everybody, we made it through number one.
All right.
We've
We've each
Nine
we've
more
gone
of
around the
these to
horn.
go.
We've done it.
we have So let's moving on for me. Number two, and you might recognize a bit of a
Is this your
pattern
second
here.
favorite, or is
This
this
is my second
your,
favorite
okay.
in order. We're going in order. Goodfellas, Martin Scorsese.
That's also.
You might
pretty
recognize a
good.
pattern. Yeah, I like the violent movies. Listen, Goodfellas is for me. It can't be number one because of where Pulp Fiction is. Because in my eyes, because of the nostalgic, the you know what I mean.
If you didn't have the nostalgia for Pulp Fiction,
Right.
though, would Goodfellas top the chart?
Goodfellas would probably top the chart for me because I think that I'm a sucker for a mob movie. I love, I have the Italian in my blood. I'm more Irish, but I like to say I'm Italian still. And so I think like when I look at this movie, I am utterly entranced and entertained. I can't look away. I think that Martin Scorsese did a fantastic job with the cinematography, but primarily just the character development is so much fun. I love the character development, especially in mob movies. And I think this one just does a brilliant job of showcasing the things that transpire throughout a gangster's life, and then finally leading up to that kind of lonely, sad kind of ending. You know what I mean? That demise that is sort of inevitable. You know what I mean? Getting busted and living out the boring kind of life that they have when they're out of that stuff, or if they make it out. You know what I mean? And it's just a fascinating film, and I love every aspect of it.
And also, like, I just to add on to what you said, like, when you watch them, we've all seen the movie, right? It just goes to show, like, when you watch it, like, because I don't want to spoil it, but it's like, it's ironic in a way because in a mob, like, they always emphasize like the mob is your family, like the mob is your family.
Right.
But
it's the
it's the total. If you watch it,
really.
it's like
the total
it's
opposite.
it's the complete
and
opposite.
it's the perfect like it's the perfect like story of like the revenge and like the I don't know. I think everything about it is just
Kind of add on to that. What's really a testament to I feel like Robert De Niro is probably one of the most iconic actors ever.
Right.
I would say he's probably, I mean, his more recent movies have kind of not been that good, but like overall, I'd say he's probably up there with one of the best just actors.
Yeah.
And the best way of saying that is he's in Goodfellas, Godfather 2, and Once Upon a Time in America. These are all three classic, all-time great mob movies. And he's completely different in each one. Like you could it would be very easy if you're like, okay, they're all three mob movies. It has the same actor. Okay, he's gonna be the same, but he's completely different in all three of them, and it's
it's a testament to his ability.
It's really fascinating.
And I think he knows that too. Like I think he knows, like, okay, like if I'm gonna be in this many mob movies, I can't
he
be
can't be doing the
character.
same character.
If my last
I
name's
gotta
gonna be
change
De
it
Niro, I'm gonna be in a lot of mob movies, and if I'm gonna be in a lot of mob movies,
right. And Joe Pesci's performance. I mean, everybody know. What do I amuse you? What do I make you laugh?
that was a great impression.
That was great.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I can also do. I don't know if it's. It used to be on my list. I think it's on my top 20, but obviously this is a truncated list. But I can do a great Godfather as well. You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, Bryce. Why are you looking at me like that, Danny? Stop laughing.
I had to turn my mic off.
He had to turn his mic off.
You've practiced this.
I've
haven't
practiced this.
You practiced.
I can tell.
You looked
I
in
can
the.
tell.
You've
done this in the
practiced
mirror
this in the
before.
mirror. Exactly.
I've done.
Look at my. The audience can't see this at home, but I also
scared.
elevate. I put the jaw. Like,
Yeah.
I do the little overbite. You know what I mean? I got that going on too. Oh yeah, I love doing the impressions. I'm obsessed with it. Moving on. I feel like
right.
we're getting
Welcome to
off
Movies
topic.
Midnight.
We're getting off topic.
My second favorite movie is probably one that not a lot of people have seen. It's At Eternity's Gate. It's a movie about Vincent Van Gogh where Willem Dafoe plays Vincent Van Gogh, and I just like when I first saw this movie, it was like a really bad time in my life, and I just was like completely just taken aback by Willem Dafoe's performance. Like it made me sob like a baby. Like this entire movie just looked like his paintings. It was probably one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen like in my life. There's a lot of good quotes from it. One of my favorite ones was one quote. Vince Van Gogh's brother was asking him like, like, why do you paint? And because your paintings are horrible, like nobody likes your paintings. And he was just like, maybe God made me a painter for people who aren't born yet. And I just thought that was like, it was just like a really beautiful movie. And it like changed my like perception of who he was like as a person.
Willem Dafoe did such a
How does
fantastic.
he not have an Oscar?
That's I was just going to say
How
that.
does this
Willem
man not
Dafoe's
have an
performance
Oscar
was
yet?
so good in that movie.
Willem Dafoe, if you're listening,
Willem Dafoe,
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
yeah, you have the Oscar
You don't
in my
need
heart. Or
Willem
you have
Dafoe.
you have all the awards in my
Who
heart.
needs one of those?
I
You
don't
don't
know.
need an
You
Oscar.
We don't need
No.
that.
We
You
know
don't
you're
need any-
good.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember when he farted in The Northman? That was like probably
Which
the
time?
best.
That-
Do
probably
we
the best
remember
one.
the lighthouse
Which-
where half his dialogue
no.
was half the movie was just
The
Willem
Lighthouse-
Dafoe.
The
Lighthouse
It's
was
amazing. It's
not
amazing.
good.
It's a
I'm
great- I love The
sorry.
Lighthouse.
It's the Lighthouse is not.
The Lighthouse
Wow,
is
both,
great.
I
hated
enjoyed it, but I
Lighthouse.
thought it was very out
That's
there.
that was not actually going to be in my top 10, but that's in my top 100.
Top 100.
100.
Yeah,
I don't even,
I have
I
my
didn't even have
massive
that
list.
created.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I've watched too many movies.
Yeah, so the list just keeps getting.
Yeah, it keeps
All right.
getting
Anyways,
more and
that's
more
my,
enormous. Yeah.
No, At Attorney's Gate is amazing. For
That's
real.
probably
Another
That's a good
Van Gogh
too.
movie I don't know if you've seen is Loving Vincent, the animated
I
one.
wanted to see that.
Yeah,
I
because
want
they,
to
they
see that,
do
so I
it's
didn't
the
see
the
that.
animation style, but it's like in the Van Gogh art style.
Oh, that's
where it's
cool.
like
like
it-
the
they-
impressionist.
yeah, like what they did was they filmed it with like on green screen with the actors, and then they like did tracing like over it, like in the Van Gogh style. It took like 4
Yeah.
years or something like that just to do
Whoa.
the animation for it because
That's
of
really
how
cool.
complex that is. Yeah,
That's really cool. Danny?
yeah.
Number two.
My turn next. Yeah.
I
So
can't believe we're
my
on number two. Wow.
yeah,
Oof.
my number 2 favorite movie is actually one that I got to watch at the Montclair Film Festival, even though it's older. Even I don't know why. I'm not sure why it was at the Montclair Film Festival. It was really cool getting to see it. Synecdoche, New York. Charlie Kaufman is probably my favorite writer director ever. He has honestly most of his movies are in my massive top 100 list. A lot of them were in contention for the top 10. But this is one where there's just so much to pick apart. I think I've watched it like at least a dozen times in the last 2 years. There's so much to gain on multiple watches of it. I made a in my what's it called? English class last year. We had to pick a movie to analyze. And I made a 55 slide PowerPoint presentation on this movie.
Whoa.
It took 2 full class periods to get through. There's so much to talk about. We could do a whole episode on
Oh,
that
yeah,
one day
100%.
maybe.
To watch it.
This movie is
Yeah.
crazy.
It's very insane. It's probably one of the most bleak and depressing movies I've ever watched.
oh my god, it's so beautiful. I want to.
It really is. Yeah.
I don't want to get. I don't want to get.
Yeah,
too much into
we'll cut this one short because I'm sure we could probably
We could
talk
do
about
a
this one
whole
for-
episode
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
just
But
that
yeah,
movie.
that's my number 2.
Good.
It's really good
Very
movie.
good.
Good movie.
Bryce.
So number 2 for me was The Dark Knight.
Yes.
And the
Oh,
reason why it
right.
is because specifically only because of Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Heath
Yes.
Ledger, I think for me personally, I don't know
Yes.
about everybody else, but for me, Heath Ledger changed the way we think about the Joker. Because
absolutely.
if you think about it,
Yeah.
because if you think about it this way, before Heath Ledger's Joker, we saw in Batman movies, we saw this like comic book
Right.
bright
You
version
had
of the Joker.
61
Yeah.
and Jack
He
Nicholson.
was a
The
little
61
bit.
is
Yeah, he
like
was
over the top, the
comic-y.
goofy.
But
he
yeah.
was gimmicky a
before
little bit.
one he became the new Joker, and 2 he completely changed his character completely. Like
Mm-hmm.
because of his
He turned it
Joker,
into a real
because-
villainy villain.
because of his Joker, the Jokers that are going to come before him, like this one of the new Robert Pattinson Batman movie,
Yeah.
you can see that Joker
Coming
in
out.
Heath Ledger. Like you can
Right.
see the darkness. Like
Yeah.
even in
the
Todd
Jo-
Phillips' Joker 2, there's that. There's this more of this. Obviously, the whole thing is dark, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's what Heath Ledger really brought to the table.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
brought this element of like of more of a backstory rather than just here's this crazy kind of clowny
Yeah,
character.
they made
this
him more like
sinister.
yeah, sinister, dialogue heavy, like holding up a mirror, trying to hold up a mirror to
Yeah.
society because Jared Leto's Joker exists. So I can't say they 100% have succeeded at that.
I do think it's kind of bad in a
But-
way. I do think it's kind of bad in a way though because he's set the bar so high now for any
Yeah.
Joker. No one's ever gonna top it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know this is a very bold statement, but like there's never gonna be a better Joker than that.
No, there never will be.
I think
But-
Joaquin came is a different
did-
portrayal.
he did good because
phenomenal,
of the portrayal.
But Heath Ledger is like
Yeah.
That's
Ledger's
one of the most
like-
captivating.
It's not a
performances I've
bad
seen.
thing. It makes directors not want to cast a
Yeah.
Joker anymore if they ever planned on
And
that.
they still do.
And they still
And yet
do for
we've
some
gotten,
reason.
We've gotten
Jared
more
Leto.
live action Jokers since Heath Ledger than we did before.
It's because the audiences really love that character. That's such a crazy character.
It's
And look at-
arguably the best villain ever made.
Yeah, same thing. Like look at like Darth Vader, for example, too. Like think about how much like people wanted it more of Darth Vader. So, now especially with Disney, they started putting him in more stuff. That is the same thing. It's just they all really love those villains, and so they think that people it's a money grab. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
Darth Vader is the reason why they made. Did you know that that Darth Vader is the reason why they made the prequels?
yeah,
Yeah.
to showcase
To
that,
showcase how Darth Vader
Anakin.
became Darth
Right.
Vader. Yeah.
Yeah, which is really, really interesting. Moving on to the big number 3. I kind of want to. I hope you guys don't mind. I kind of want to rush through 3, 4, 5 because I do want to bring it to a
Yeah.
break in a minute
Yeah, go
here,
ahead.
and then we'll do the next half of our list when we come back from the break. Number 3 for me is Inception. I think it's so cool. It's awesome. It's everything. Like I don't even know. I don't want to get too into it, but Christopher Nolan is so good. Christopher Nolan did The Dark Knight too. We love Christopher Nolan. Inception was insane because it just completely flipped my head around. I was staring in the mirror for like 20 minutes after watching this movie. I think my whole life changed. I mean, it was. I've never like looked into the world after like watching this movie the same way. I think and that to me is a movie. That's when you come out of a movie and you're
Cinema.
completely changed by something like mentally and emotionally affected. Like, oh, that's good. That's good. Number 4. I thought I was just gonna go say all my other 2 and then we'll go to you.
that's
You guys.
Yeah,
Got
we're
it.
gonna bang through the 3 ones that we have the least
Yeah.
to talk about, I guess.
Number 4, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I threw a new one up there. I just added to the list
that's a
recently.
very
I
recent one.
rearranged it. Very recent, but wow. Never have I been more entertained. Never have I laughed harder. Never have I cried harder in a movie. Never have I been so emotionally connected. For some reason, these characters were so compelling.
I like the rocks.
And it was the rock. I thought there was so much happening, and there was a lot of that the theatrical
Thematic.
theatrical reflexivity. I'll figure out the terminology later. Hopefully, our film studies teacher is not watching this. But yeah. So that movie was just really good. I think it was just so much fun, and the Daniels, those guys did, those guys did really good.
We love A24.
Yeah, A24. They've had a great year too. We could talk about this too, but I'm not gonna get into it. Number 5, Fight Club, David Fincher, Edward Norton, Brad Pitt. So good. Oh my gosh, I love the symbology. I love the cinematography. I love everything about this movie. I love the darkness to it. I love David Fincher for Fight Club. I'm not supposed to talk about it too much, so Ella Duffy. that was a good.
That was a
transition.
clever segue. Well done. Segue of the night.
We're 2 in the same, Drew, because my 3rd is Everything Everywhere. And when I tell you,
Whoa.
I cannot, like, when I tell people about this movie, like, and I tell them about it, it's like, and you haven't seen it, it's like I'm lying. I'm lying to you. Like, the
Yeah,
most
they don't
crazy
believe it.
things, like, if I tell you, like, there's a raccoon on this guy's head that he cooks, he does hibachi.
They made a Ratatouille
That sounds
joke
fake.
in
That
2020.
sounds
Right.
fake. Like, this is like probably like one of the
So
best movies I've ever
good.
seen in my life. And if it doesn't win like Best
It's
Picture,
gonna
Best
it's gonna win
Everything,
Best Picture.
I think it's
I
definitely
will
it's
be
definitely
so
gonna get
upset.
nominated. But
Contender.
yeah. We're gonna probably. I hope we're able to do like some kind of Oscar either recap thing or live.
Yeah, we're hoping
thing,
to do
depending
that
on how long
at some
it
point.
runs. Because if last year's any
Yeah.
indication, it'll be like 5 hours long, and they'll still cut categories.
Yeah.
So my number 4 was a fight between Fight Club and Whiplash, but I went with Whiplash because when I first saw Whiplash, like I was in such a trance, like it's just the most stressful state I've ever been in for
Yeah.
the hour and 40 minutes, and it went by so fast. And then when the credits rolled, I broke down and cried. I was like,
Yeah, same.
this has to
I was
be
in
like
tears.
the best movie. Like I can't explain it, but like the entire time, yeah, I was just in a state of just complete stress.
And I feel like like I feel like as like a people going into like this sort of like artistic industry too, you sort of feel like you almost like feel like you can connect to Miles Teller's character so much in that you know what I mean, like you
Yeah.
feel like you're gonna you know like you never like maybe you not haven't encountered a crazy person like
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons is
Oh.
Did he
not
get
case
an
of a
Oscar for
character.
that? He should have gotten. an
I don't
Oscar for
even
that.
I don't
He was
we
yeah, phenomenal one.
yeah that was phenomenal.
I
Number
go to my
5.
fifth.
Yeah, number 5.
My fifth is Elvis. I'm sorry guys, but that
Oh no, she said
I
that.
am an editing like fiend. Like if I see
That's
movie
Merman.
with crazy editing, I'm like, this is my movie. Like just the entire movie, like anything, like the second Austin Butler would just like go so into his character, like I would cry. And I cried at the end, and I cried at the opening. Like, if a movie makes me cry, it's just gonna be on my top 10. So
I
this is
agree.
definitely one of the best theater movies. Like, if you didn't see it in theaters, you definitely missed out.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters and I saw it on HBO Max as well. I think that I agree with you. I think Austin Butler's performance is really good in that. I did not like
The editing was really good.
That was
Editing
probably
was really
the
good.
worst
Awful.
performance I've ever seen from
Cinematography was
Mr.
good,
Hanks.
You know.
but Tom Hanks was, but cinematography, edited, yeah, Tom Hanks was really bad. But Baz Luhrmann, wow, comeback, wow, oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah, this is
Gatsby
this
was
is
terrible.
Yeah.
Gatsby was terrible. Yeah.
Anyways, I wanted to say, by the way, best supporting actor did go to J.K. Simmons for Whiplash.
Good.
by the way.
Oh,
good,
good.
as
He
he
deserved
should, as
it.
he should.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest lines that I cannot say
I know,
Or
right?
in that movie.
because
I
of the
know.
FCC.
The FCC will. cancel
so I
the
will
show
not say those
immediately.
lines.
It'll pull us
Danny,
off the air.
3,
yeah,
4, and 5.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Speaking of J.K. Simmons, he's in this movie. I'm gonna go through the ones where I don't have as much to talk about.
Okay.
So J.K. Simmons was in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
My favorite one of those is not one of the 2 good ones, but Spider-Man 3.
What?
And
That's a
here is
good
why.
one.
And here is why.
That's on your
good
top
And here is
10?
why. And here is why. Because that is a movie I can put on regardless of my mood, regardless of how tired I am, and it is one of the most insane movies I have ever seen. Because the first half of it is normal and it's good, and then it completely falls off the rails. And then it's just extremely fun and entertaining. Like it's one of the
It
most.
is.
It's you can't watch
I
it
agree.
expecting it to be good. You have to watch it like as just
Yeah,
the insane,
that's
goofy
true.
comedy that it is, because it's not a good movie, but it's insane, and that's why it's in my top 10.
Lovely.
Also, that one's not my number 3. I'm going kind of out of order.
Okay.
My actual number 3 is Empire Strikes Back. There's not really that much to say about that hasn't been said for.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I love Star Wars.
Thank you. There's not really that much to say about that hasn't been said for like the past 40 something. It's The Empire Strikes Back. You know it's good. You've probably seen it. It's great movie. Honestly, all 3 of the original trilogy Star Wars ones are really good, and they're all kind of almost in my top 10. But that's my favorite one of them. And then my other one I'm gonna speed run through is Ghostbusters is a really funny movie, and Bill Murray is good, even though he's done some icky stuff. Possibly, maybe, who knows? Anyway.
Okay, I'm not gonna comment because I don't want to get too much into this.
Yeah.
but Ghostbusters is good. Yes.
Yes.
Bryce.
All right, so number 3 for me was Superbad, just because every time I watch that,
Yeah.
it's never not funny to me.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me was Inception, because I think we're all in agreement
Inception
that was
is
just the most mind-boggling thing you've ever seen.
Mind-boggling, yeah.
And number 5 for me was Ferris Bueller's Day Off, just because
classic.
it's just like, why not?
It's kind of
Yeah.
it's a comfort
Yeah.
movie for me. I think.
It
Like
is.
I would go back. Like I have only seen it one time, but like I feel like I could really go. Like that's something you go back to. Like you know what I mean.
And also, like, just like obviously in real life, nobody's day off is always like that. But like when you watch it, like it
It's
really,
fun.
the lesson I learned from you personally when you watch that is like enjoy life.
Yeah.
Like just enjoy life,
Yeah.
and then whenever just enjoy every second of it. You know.
Right. Beautiful. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Quick break. We were talking a lot about Quentin Tarantino, so I want to play my favorite song from Pulp Fiction. We're breaking down our top 10 list. We're currently about halfway through our list right now with like 4 minutes to go.
We're gonna speed run.
We're gonna
just
speed
say the
run it.
names.
We're gonna speed through our next 5.
Yeah, we're gonna speed through the next 5.
So sad.
If anybody would like to comment on these, feel free to stop me and I'll say something. But we're gonna have to rush. So let's go around. Let's do a circle. So we're just gonna go.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say number 6, Mad Max Fury Road. Ella.
Number 6, Full Metal Jacket.
Yes.
Yeah, I went out of order, but David Lowery's A Ghost Story.
Oh, that's so sad. I love that movie.
It's a Dead Poet Society.
Oh, Robin Williams.
Oh.
Yes. Where am I? Number 7, The Empire Strikes Back. I had to put it on there. I love Star Wars. Ella.
Number 7, Almost Famous.
I've never
Anyone?
seen
No
it.
one's ever seen
That's
that?
a good movie.
That's a
I haven't seen it in
Oh
years,
my
but that's a good
God,
movie.
Drew.
You should watch it at
I have
some
to-
point.
I do have to
Wow.
watch it.
Anyway,
Sorry.
I'm out of order. It's Such a Beautiful Day by Don Hertzfeld. It's animated and it's really good. You should watch it, and it's not available like anywhere, but still, it's good.
But that's not a call to action.
No, it's not. It's just a movie that is highly rated and that is very good and that people would enjoy.
Great job, Danny. Bryce.
All right, number 7 for me, Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. Yeah.
have an Edgar
Where
Wright
are we on? Number 8. Interstellar.
Someone likes
Does
Christopher
anybody-
Nolan.
I love Christopher Nolan. I love space movies. Ella.
Super underrated. Nomadland. Best Picture.
that's good.
Jaws.
Jaws. Yes.
That's it.
Goodwill Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. Yeah. I see. That's on my top 20, but not my top 10. Number 9. Whiplash.
Oof. Yep. Number
Ella.
9. After Yang.
I haven't seen that.
Good one. It's a new
Really?
one.
That's a bit of a black sheep. there.
Celebration of Life.
Yeah. That's what
Huh.
I was like.
Interesting.
I've heard of it though.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Psycho.
Psycho.
The real one.
Hitchcock.
The good one.
Hitchcock.
The good one.
Yeah. The good one.
The good one.
Wait. Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bryce.
All right, like I said before, The Girl Next Door.
The Girl Next Door. Okay, so it's still on your list, but you just now.
Yeah,
okay.
He's gotten to that
I see what
point.
you did
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
All right, we're at number 10. We're moving along quite nicely here. Apocalypse Now, Francis Ford Coppola.
Ooh.
I'm a
Really?
sucker for a war movie as
Great
well,
one.
and this one is like
But that's
probably
so,
the pinnacle
That's
of.
so dark and depressing.
But it
Says the man with Synecdoche, New York, is his number 2
Yeah,
favorite
come
movie
on,
of all
man.
time.
But I love the cinematography. I love the
Yeah.
the themes and everything
Marlon
like that,
Brando.
and the acting is so good. Ella.
My number 10 is 500 Days of Summer.
That is
Perfect.
so good.
See, here's the thing. Yeah, my number 10 has changed like 20 times since I started making the list. Currently, it's sitting at It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's just the most recent thing that I had.
It's a Wonderful Life. You said?
Yeah.
That's the Christmas.
Yeah. But it's
Oh, I
a
love
good
that movie.
movie other than just being a Christmas
It's
movie.
not on my.
really good, yeah.
It's not on my top 20, but like
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite. Like, if we're calling it the black and white era,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? I love that kind of stuff.
For me, number 10 was The Hangover. Just because
The Hangover's
it's so
so
funny.
funny.
It's so
I watched that
funny.
The
again
Hangover
like
is
2
very
weeks
funny.
ago, and my roommates. I think they actually might be watching. I love it
The
so
Hangover is
much.
very
Like I said before, not a movie that you would
Kind of
watch
would-
critically,
right,
but sit
you-
back and enjoy it.
Right. Because we love Bradley Cooper.
Bradley,
He-
I
I'm
like
rela- I'm
Bradley
related
Cooper
to
a lot,
Bradley
yeah.
Cooper.
You're related to
What?
Bradley Cooper.
We have the same last name.
Oh.
I'm not actually.
Don't play like
not
that.
actually.
I was gonna say. Wait a minute.
That's a joke. Please don't take me seriously, guys. Next week when we come back, we're doing our top 10 least favorite films of all time and breaking down some of these things that we don't really think are great, but they exist.
My number
somehow.
11 favorite movie is Cats. No, that's a joke.
Oh.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
We're-
That's a
yeah,
joke.
we're gonna talk about that
That's a
movie.
Wait, really?
Next
Okay.
week a little bit.
Oh yes.
I also
please,
wanted to
thank you.
add my like throw on. Like you had like a throw on. Like what was it? The Girl
15
Next Door.
seconds.
Mine was the Batman because I love the Batman, and we could talk about that
The
movie
new
some
one?
other time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ladies
That
and
was
gentlemen,
Movies Till Midnight.
Movies Till Midnight.
Movie Till Midnight.
love you.
Thank you
guys
guys
next
for
week.
watching.
We'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week.
Wrap the show. One.
90.3
We're done.
WMSC Upper Montclair.